Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. So, I just want to give a quick birthday message to Sean Mack. I wish him a very happy birthday today. It's his birthday today, so very happy birthday. Hope you have a great day. And yeah, that's it. So, I want to talk about. I talked about this many, many times. I talked about it a few weeks ago too. About the state of the defence forces, and people know I'm very passionate about it. I'm um, very passionate to see reform and see change because change it can happen. It can be done. To reform the defence forces, increase numbers into the defence forces, as you've seen the last few years. Uh, the extreme amount of people who have left the defence forces due to pay and conditions. And this is one of the driving factors, particularly in the Irish Navy. I've talked about it many times. It's going to be a long video, so just stay tuned for a few minutes. I try and explain to keep you up to date with what's happened. So a lot of people have left. So which means obviously when loads of people leave the naval service, take for example, you have less manpower on ships and stuff like that for to take care of the engines, to steer the ship, to man the guns on the ships, and that's going to affect. Obviously, that's you basically if you haven't got the people to run the ship, the ship can't go out of port basically. So that's why a lot of Irish Navy ships, the majority of the Irish Navy at the moment, is in dock. There's literally no people to man the ships. And this brings me on to the next point, which drug dealers and human traffickers. Remember, Ireland is nearly the number one in Europe for human trafficking, and the majority of human trafficking and stuff happens at sea from container ships onto small boats. It's the same with drugs. You see in the last month where a big container ship had drugs, loads of hundreds of thousands, millions of euro of drugs on it, and they were trying to put it onto a small boat which would bring it ashore into the Republic of Ireland by a small boat from a big cargo ship. So obviously there's huge need for a navy to patrol Irish seas, and obviously illegal fishing, etc., 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 search and rescue, etc. Like there's many different things, and people that are illegally doing these things are going to be laughing all the way to the bank because there's nobody to basically stop them. There's only one ship for the whole Republic of Ireland. They cover the whole, from Sligo all the way down to Cork, from Dublin, all the Irish coast. There's only one naval ship to do anything, like basically to stop anything. Basically, on Galway and O'Connell don't have the facilities like the navy with big naval ships that can stop a big cargo ship or anything like that. So there's literally nothing to basically there's nothing to stop. There's only one naval ship for the whole state to defend the whole state, and it's not like we don't have the ships. The ships there, the ships in port. There's nobody to man the ships because just extreme paying conditions is not there. People have left to go to Tesco because of better conditions. When you see that, there's something bad happening. And it isn't an easy life. I would say that for sailors and stuff, and particularly if you have children and stuff like women and young men that have children, a few children, and have a mortgage on their house. It's not a life for you basically. It's not much of a life. There's not enough money in it. You're away from your family for a long time. You're out in patrol at sea, etc., etc. It's not an easy life. It isn't easy. Um, it simply is not an easy life for young men and young women to join. And it's not that people won't join. I say a lot of young lads coming out of college, coming out of school, would love to join the army, would love to join the navy, would love to join the air corps. But it's simply, if the money's not there, people are not going to join. There's no incentive for people to join, even though they love their country, they're passionate about their country, which a lot of members of the defence forces in general are very passionate. They have a drive to defend their country. They have a passion in them. What they get from the government is a slap in the face. That's basically what they get. Now, Micheál Martin, is the Minister of Defence, and I don't even... to be totally honest, the beginning and end of Micheál Martin here is that he doesn't agree with the backwards idea of sovereignty. So, take that as you will, but, he's not the man to be speaking to about the defence, I suppose, of the country. But I'm seriously concerned. I'm sure every citizen in the country should be seriously concerned because it literally gives an open invitation to drug cartels that have big cargo ships as we've been bringing in huge amounts of drugs because basically they've just been given a blank sheet to say you can do whatever you want. We're not going to. There's no ability for the state to stop you. Basically, that's what's going to happen. And it's the same with human trafficking because obviously the majority of human trafficking it does happen in the airports too, but in many cases it seems to be on ships. They bring in them on ships and drop them off. On smaller boats to the Republic. Obviously, going through an airport if you're trafficking people, even though it's happening as we speak, it's happening right in front of our eyes. Let's put it that way. But in Thames they would do it in boats, it seems to be. And it's the same with legal fishing too. They can just come here now and they can fish to the heart's content. As I said, there's only one naval ship. It can only be in one place at one specific time. It can't be around the whole fucking country. Basically, it can't be everywhere. Basically, if there's somebody illegally fishing somewhere, and then there's a big container ship bringing in loads of drugs, the ship can't split itself in half and go to two places. If that makes any sense. It can only go to one or the other. And it's the same if, God forbid, if a plane went down in Irish territorial waters, the Navy would have to go and help out. Or, God forbid, if something happened, a ship sank off the coast of Ireland, it would be the Irish Coast Guard, the Irish, the Coast Guard, yeah, the helicopters. But the Navy too would have a role in that as search and rescue. And it's, let's put it this way, it's not good odds. Let's put out if something like that happens, because there's literally only one naval ship to send out on to respond to it, basically. And it's simply not good enough. It's not good enough. But we all know what's behind this, because the government are not stupid. Micheál Martin, you tell me with a straight face that Micheál Martin is stupid, and that the government are stupid. They don't know about what they're doing to the Defence Forces. Like, they already have said it. They want a European army. They don't want an Irish Defence Forces. They want a collective Defence Forces for the for the European Union, which obviously, as Micheál Martin said, is a backwards idea of sovereignty. And obviously, to be sovereign too, you have your means to defend yourself if something happens. And at this point in time, I might as well tell people straight that this country has no means of defending itself. We simply couldn't, because we literally don't even have any facilities to defend our oceans, let alone defend, because the oceans is the front line of the nation. Without the defence fund, the Airco, obviously the Airco have a role to play too in defending the seas too from the air. But again, the Airco has no, it's not looking too good either, and the same with the army too, it's not looking good. But as I say, the Navy is extremely important to, first of all, protect our territorial waters, and to protect young people and protect the citizens of the country, because, as I say, the huge amount of drugs that were caught a few weeks ago, only for them being caught and intercepted. Like, as we speak now, there could be a container ship off the coast of Cork there, with 3 or 4 small boats going from the container ship with millions and millions euro worth of cocaine and drugs coming into the state. And it's just like to go rampant. And on Garda Síochána O'Connor, they're not the best people to try and stop it, let's put that way. It's only by sheer might, by sheer naval might, that you can stop it. But as I say, sheer naval might is nowhere near this country. There'll be more, I think drug traffickers and stuff will be more frightened of the Coast Guard in Iceland, because Iceland literally has 10 ships of the Coast Guard patrolling its waters, even though there's fucking nothing near in Iceland. And it's basically, nobody goes there, basically, so, but no, all seriousness, it is a great threat to the state. And we do need to start talking about it. We need to talk about the future of the Navy. If it's going to be just left that one ship has to do the job of about 10 ships, then we have to literally just talk about saying that we're going to just abolish the Navy and give it to the Royal Navy to protect the Irish coastal waters, which at the moment in time they're already protecting the Irish airspace, because we have no fighter jets, we have no means, we have no anti-air missiles or anything to shoot down an enemy jet if it came into the country. It's the Royal Navy that does that. The Royal Air Force, sorry, excuse me. But the Irish Air Corps doesn't have the means to shoot down anything over Irish skies, basically. They have no ability to shoot anything down. So, as I say, we might as well at this stage say to the Royal Navy too, you have to protect the Irish coast and the Irish territorial waters. Which, let's put it this way, why did we fight for 800 years just to ask the British to defend us? I don't know what Michael Collins and the people who came before us, what would they say about it? That after 800 years of fighting the British, we asked them to come and defend us. I don't think they'd be too happy with that, I don't think they would agree with that, let's put it that way. But again, it's the government. At the end of the day, it's not the naval service or the people in the naval service that needs to be blamed. It's the people of the government. Micheál Martin, even the president to such degree, as the commander-in-chief of the army. even though he only has a role for figurehead, of the nation, he's just basically there as the person to sign laws and to represent the country. But he does have a role as the commander-in-chief, which Michael Collins did hold as the commander-in-chief of the army. So he has a very good say if he wanted to say something as the commander-in-chief of the army. Because everybody in Oakland and Heron basically swears an allegiance to the president, basically, as the commander-in-chief, you know. It's the same in the United States. The president of the United States is the commander-in-chief of the United States. All the United States branches, the army and the navy and the air force and the etc. etc. But yeah, so we should see what happens. But I do think, unfortunately, that nothing's going to change, because they could do something in the morning, the government, if they really, really wanted to. Because there's money there for everything that the government wants to do. There are big NGOs and stuff, billions a year. There's money there, but they just don't want to use, and they don't care, to be totally honest. And that's just the beginning and end of it. Micheál Martin doesn't care. But we can only hope, because it's only for our sakes. It's not for the people in the Navy's sakes too. Because we want them to have a good life when they serve us. We want them to be able to buy a house, to be able to afford nice stuff. Because again, they're putting themselves at risk. We don't know what could come our way at any stage that they have to go and face, the people in the naval service. And we have to think of them. We have to think of their families too, and we have to think of the nation as a whole. Thank you.